Vayeira begins with Avram being visited by the three malachim. As we know, the malachim came to inform him not only about the impending destruction of Sodom, but also about the future birth of his son Yitzchak. Now, this is strange that this would be necessary because in the parak right before, parak Yud Zayin, Hashem himself tells Avraham about the birth of Yitzchak from Sarah. And we hear about the laughing, which is the basis of the name Yitzchak. Hashem tells Avraham, Perek Yud Pasuk Yutet, that you're going to call him Yitzchak. So why do we need the angels to come in the very next Perek to tell him what Hashem has already told him? I believe the answer is connected to the whole context of the story in Perek Yud Chet. When we read Perek Yud Zayin and we read about Avraham, and even more so about Sarah, we don't know that much about who they are. We don't know that much about why they're chosen, and particularly why Sarah is chosen to be the mother of Avram's future of the Jewish people. And in fact, we see the tensions and struggle between Sarah and Hagar, and it's hard to say without the knowledge we have of Sarah beyond that Sarah comes out looking more positively than Hagar. Why is it that the future of the Jewish people is going to come from the union of Avraham and Sarah? I think the answer we get in this story in the beginning of Parshat Vayeira. Avram is the Av HaChesed. Chazal tell us that he used the Chesed to be Mekarev people too, but on the most basic level it was Chesed. And his partner in this Chesed was of course Sarah. And when the angels want to tell Avram about the birth, they first begin by asking him, Ayeh Sarah Ishtecha. And Avram responds that she's Ba'ohel, emphasizing the role she's playing there, preparing the food and welcoming these guests. The Achnasat Orchim of Avram is done with Sarah. Parshat Vayeira gives us an understanding as to why the child will come from Sarah. That's why the story is so important, in learning about who Avram was, who Avram and Sarah were, and why they are the future of the Jewish people. And there are, of course, many points to speak about here. The one I want to speak about this week is about how Avraham's actions are described. If we look in the beginning, Perek Yud Chet, Avraham suggests to these people that they come and join him for a meal. And they answer, Kain ta'aseh ka'asher dibarta. Yes, do as you have spoken. The next pasuk tells us, Vayimaher Avraham ha'oela el Sarah. He rushed to the tent to Sarah to ask her to begin preparing. And it wasn't just others who he springboarded into action, but Viel HaBakar Ratz Avraham. Avraham then himself ran to the animals, chose a good piece of meat. Vayiten el anar vayimaher la'asot oto. Vayimaher, Ratz. Avram didn't just do chesed, didn't just do achnasat orchim, didn't just prepare food for others. He ran in his pursuit of it. The Ramban tells us, Vitam v'el bakar ratz el Avraham. The reason we're told about this is l'hagid rov choshko b'ndivut, to tell us how much of a desire he had for doing this. We see from Avraham the importance not only of doing the right thing, but of being passionate about it, but of caring about it so much that it expresses itself in one's running towards it. In Avot Rabbi Natan, on the Mishnah, the beginning of Avot that says, Yehi beitcha patuach li'revacha, your home should be wide open to people. The Midrash tells us about a conversation between Hashem and Eov. Eov said, I'm a Baal Chesed like Avram, and Hashem said, no, Avram's on a higher level. He doesn't just welcome people in and give them food. He goes way beyond in how far he goes in his rush for it. The concept of rushing to do mitzvot, we hear about in the Mishnayot and Avot. The fourth parak, Ben Azai says, Haveiratz lemitzvah kala kebechamura. Run even to a less significant mitzvah, the same way you would run to a more severe mitzvah. And in the next parak, Yehuda ben Tema tells us, Havayaz k'namer v'kal k'nesher v'ratz k'tzvi v'gibor ka'ari la'asot ritzon avicha shabashamayim. The connection here between ratz and ratzon, the lengthier version of the word. One's running towards something expresses the deep ratzon to accomplish it. And that's why the Gemara in Brachot Avav tells us that a person should run to a dvar halacha, a person should run to a dvar mitzvah. The Mishnah in Avot in the second parak tells us, Asei ritzono kiritzonecha. Ideally, a person shouldn't just do the right things, but should internalize the will of God in a way that it becomes what they care about too. This expresses itself in what we run to. Unfortunately, we live in a world that runs to other things, that passions other things. The question is whether we're different just in what we do, or also whether we're different in what we passion. And that it expresses itself in physically running. The ritzah as an expression of ratzon. And here it's important for us to reflect on the message we give off to others and the message of what it says to and about ourselves. Do we run to davening? Do we run to learning? Not just physically, but also emotionally and personally. This is one of the things we're meant to learn about Avraham. To be a descendant, to be a child, to be a follower, to be a Talmid of Avraham, it means to care this much, to run, to be passionate about the right things, not just to do them. Shabbat Shalom.